I think this is a relatively conservative weight for him, unless something's gone amiss, David. Having said that, he did post 170 as his starting clean and jerk. With the feet in line.
Yes, that was fine. Yeah, he doesn't look, he's not fired up, is he? When we saw him in Bulgaria, he was fired up. But I suppose he knows he's not really going to be getting a silver, or, you know, he knows his best chance is a bronze medal here.
Yeah, but hang on, you know, I mean, you know, as I said, he's only 21, hasn't had that much experience at World Championship level. I mean, you know, to walk away here was the overall world bronze medalist. That's, you know, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's nothing to, you know, to be ashamed of. I mean, it'd be a very good achievement. He's in, you know, pretty good company with Lee Bae-yong and Zhiyong. This is Fikretov.
Nice technique. Smooth, fast, efficient. Now the push, press, power jerk. Oh. Well, that's interesting, because I would have thought the hardest part of that move was getting it to arm's length.
75 kilograms again for Fikretov, Bulgaria.
So I wonder if he'll take that again.
I would guess that he would. There's not much profit where he is in the overall order to start to do anything flashier. I mean, he's over the 300 kilo mark has been broken. There was no one from the B group who exceeded 300. In fact, it was Milan Campo of Colombia who totaled up 290, and ahead of him was Sebastian Żukowski of Poland, 294. Those were the two top men in the B division earlier on today. Wayne Healy from Ireland, for those of you watching on British Eurosport, 96 kilos in the snatch with 130, gave him a total of 226. So Fikretov coming out for exactly the same again.
Definitely capable. Just a question of getting it right.
So, final attempt.
Again, very efficient on the clean. Now, needs to keep it fixed overhead this time. Which he does. That's more like it. So 310. And he says, you know, why didn't I do that the first time?
176 kilograms on the bar. Armen Gazarian, Armenia, first attempt.
So Gazarian of Armenia, the second of the two Armenians to mount his campaign. Teammate Danielin on 172, and I would think Gazarian, I think there's was 175, and that bar's increased now.
176 now for the second Armenian.
Now remember, in the snatch phase, David started the first attempt very, very easy, very confident. After that, things went a little awry.
Oof, well, that really didn't look good. It's also trying to use the push jerk system, and I have to say, not very effectively. So heading up now towards 400 pounds, 182 kilos.
For the under-21s, the qualification for the European Championship.
10 minutes from now, it's going to be really interesting. That's where it's really going to burst into life, this category. That's part of the interest and the anticipation.
So as a reminder, these men weighing under 11 stone, about 152 pounds, and the weight on the bar now getting dangerously close to 400 pounds.
In the 62 kilogram category.
I'm not sure what happened on that first attempt. It really didn't look close. Maybe the bar was too close to the windpipe. Perhaps he wasn't concentrating, or maybe the coaches have just completely selected the wrong weight. That's easy now, come on. That's better. So he's got a total.
Yeah, Kazarian recovering.
177 kilograms. Artur Danelia, Armenia.
So it's all about Armenia at the moment. These two having a private little battle. Kazarian, the lighter of the two, by some way. Good shot there. You can just see the line of gravity and the bar running down through the body, and the position you have to get your hips into to be able to maintain that bar. But Demirev now.
Loaded for Armen Kazarian, Armenia, third attempt.
And we still haven't seen the Frenchman.
No, we haven't.
I would have expected him to have entered the competition already.
Well, I think he's going to be around about 180. But of course, if he's feeling good, and he certainly looked the part in the first half of the competition, this is all happiness for DABAYA, because he's looking at Demirev using up his lives. Lee Bayong, on the right of your picture, just strolling through.
That's for the opening attempt of Vencelas, DABAYA, France.
So that's where the confusion is.
Yeah, DABAYA on the ball, 178 kilos at the moment, and that's posted for DABAYA. And that would make sense, wouldn't it? Because given the advantage of the kilos that he's got from the first phase, the snatch, given that Demirev's got 175, if DABAYA gets 178, then suddenly he's 6 kilos and body weight ahead. And I think that's really the way DABAYA ought to be playing it. You know, if he wants, he's first, as we said, well, in fact, it's all changed again, because Demirev's coming out now. And it's
I did see the French coach there changing the weight, so obviously deciding to go up. So putting the pressure on.
We'll know whether DABAYA and his coach's decisions are sensible decisions very shortly. Of course, if Demirev runs into problems on this lift, then they're probably feeling very good, the French. No, too close to the windpipe. But he's, as you said, David, he's not on fire.
He's not focused.
No.
When he was in Bulgaria, when we saw him before, he was, he's shaking his head. He's not happy. Yeah, it's not happening for him today. In fact, the Bulgarians all round are not really having much of a competition, are they?
Well, I said I think there's many factors, and I think one of the major factors is that I think the whole federation, they've had all these elections and different people, power struggles, and
just shows you politics does affect weightlifting. Organisation is key. China at the moment seem to be getting it right, and Bulgaria seem to have wandered off the path.
Occupation favor. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I think it's absolutely right, and it's the same as any sporting body. I mean, if you've got management disagreements and problems in that area, then you know the whole structure, the financial management, everything sort of just goes astray, and it filters down to the athletes, and the athletes aren't really being, you know, delivered the services that they need to give of their best. I'm not saying that is the case in Bulgaria, but we've seen it when it happens, and they have gone through turbulent times. So Demirev now, well, 178.
If he's going to do this, he's going to have to get a bit more fired up. He's going to have to really want this and believe.
Well, I'd like him to get it, just to put DABAYA under a bit of pressure, to be honest. But also, of course, if he doesn't get it, what does that do? You've got Kazarian out there who's got, you know, a lift to go, and you've got Danielin who's got 2 clean and jerk attempts to go. So the Armenians might suddenly think, oh, you know, we could be in with a shout of a medal here in the clean and jerk.
They'll certainly go for it either way.
But it all rather depends on what this man does now.
That's a better clean now.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a press out there anyway. That left arm for me was a press out.
So 2 lifts he's managed out of 6 today. Not the best.
And I have to say, the European champion who totaled up 335, well, where was he today? In Sofia, a 150, a 185 for 335. Not the same man.
Zhiyong will be the next.
What's that, 317?
It's way off his best.
Well, DABAYA, 179. Now, I just hope this is going to go okay.
Well, he knows he's got a chance now of an overall bronze, which would be fantastic.
Well, when you consider that he lifted 145, the Armenians 137 and 142.
Yes, this would put the pressure on. This would almost guarantee him the bronze medal. So it's a pressure lift. He's still got to do it, but it's there for the taking.
Nice. All thought through.
Very comfortable. Yeah, dangerous. Dangerous. Impressive.
World record, by the way, is 197. Olympic champion was Zhang of China. Total up 347.5 in Athens. Li Baiyong 342.5, and took the silver medal. But this, I have to say, David, looks like DABAYA's finest hour. Well done, France. And a real boost when you get when they can go home with an athlete who is a world bronze medalist. Okay, changed nationality, come from the Cameroons, but that's not unusual. I mean, a lot of French lifters have come from former French protectorates and French parts of Africa. I mean, terrific, and you know that will give a boost to the sport. It'll give a boost financially, I would think, into the French coffers from the government. So now This is Zhiyong, who we think, of course, David, is not quite so strong in this as he is in the snatch phase. But he does carry, of course, an 8-kilo advantage over his closest pursuer, Lee Bayong, who's yet to start.
That wasn't easy, and he was having to work there. So there's still a competition here.
So
and
now,
in fact, in terms of the clean and jerk, I wouldn't be surprised if the Frenchman actually manages to sneak in a silver medal. It's possible.
Still got these two Armenians lurking. I think they're aspiring perhaps a little bit further than they should be, but you know, who am I to deny Mr. Daniel in his chance? Now 68.
His 8-kilo jump. He's done 172. Remember, he had that weight because of the jury making their mind up.
So this would put him in to silver medal in the clean and jerk. Push DABAYA down to bronze. And this is where it all becomes fascinating now. Overall medals and clean and jerk medals really at stake. Looks strong overhead. Well, I guess wrong.
No lift.
I think he can do it.
108
I think he thinks he can do it, which is more important.
DABAYA, France.
I thought he would get this.
DABAYA is moving up. 180 kilograms loaded now for Arto Danielian, Armenia.
So
Third attempt.
might just well have to follow himself here.
Then make your point up.
Followed by Nazarian, Armenia. As you can see on the main scoreboard, Zhiyong with his first jumped into the lead with
Well, that's the
kilograms total.
situation. But remember, Lee Bayong still to enter the arena. The man who lies in second place at the halfway stage.
It's handball, where they need fast feet to shore.
Asian Championship.
Zhiyong. I think you're right, David. I think he recognises that this is no easy title to get here, this world title. He was runner-up in Vancouver in the 62-kilo class, Zhiyong. I wonder whether the same result. We just have to wait and see where Lee Bayong is going to come in and try and start to whittle away that advantage that the Chinese lifter built up, those 8 valuable kilos from the snatch phase. So this is 180 for the third and final time to put himself into silver medal position in the clean and jerk. And then, frankly, all he can do is watch and wait and hope. No.
You had to get it just, everything had to be just right.
No lift.
Running out of gas.
So Danielian also finished the competition in 6th position. 181 kilos on the bar.
So now,
Armen Kazarian, Armenia, third attempt.
so Kazarian going to 181, the other Armenian. And that's 68 kilos 33.
DABAYA will be the next.
Just heavier than DABAYA, heavier than Zhiyong. So again, it's a little bit of hope here, David. If he can do it, then if he gets a bronze medal for the clean and jerk, then it's going to be as a result of others' misfortune rather than the kilos that he lifts. Nonetheless, let's hope he does it. The body language maybe says no. But the clean is good.
Yes, this is where he had the problem on his opener.
So 176 left on that.
182 kilos on the bar.
So now really just the three main protagonists left in the competition. DABAYA guaranteed the bronze medal now, David.
That's right, it's just a question of what's going to happen on the clean and jerk.
185 kilograms.
Just to emphasize, DABAYA finishing on 145 in the snatch phase leaves himself 7 kilos behind Lee Bai-yong, who's the man in silver, and he in turn is 8 kilos down on Zhiyong. But now with 185 kilos on the bar, he's trying to reduce that deficit to just 3 kilos with this first attempt. They're all important, but as so often happens, this first one will arguably set the trend and define his possibilities. If he gets this, David, then I think the game is very much on to come back and counter-attack on Zhiyong.
Comfortable.
Very deep split, but he's pulled it back.
Yeah, just left the hips behind a bit there. I mean, it wasn't the weight. But I think he'll just sit back now and just and see what he needs.
Well, I think he's
Guaranteed the silver overall, really.
Yeah, he's now asked a question of DABAYA, because DABAYA is 68.12, so he could go for the same weight because he would nip ahead, if you like. But Zhiyong, he's going to be a little bit concerned now about that lead. It's now down to 3. So DABAYA 185, sensible choice.
Could win the gold on the clean and jerk. That'd be something, wouldn't it? It's capable. That opening attempt was comfortable.
Well, I think this is a new personal best by 2.5 kilos.
This will put him on 330, so an overall, a total best as well.
Yep.
But this is big. Wow.
Slides the hands out. Oh. He thinks he can do that.
I think he can do it. Very comfortable on the clean. He's just got to get his concentration right, get his positioning right on that jerk.
Zhiyong, China, second attempt.
Well, Lee Bai-yong, as you say, is going to watch and wait and see. Good thing for DABAYA is that Zhiyong's coming for the 185, because it just gives him just that little bit longer to settle. So, of course, this would restore the advantage to 8 kilos and the lighter body weight advantage. If he misses, though, Lee Bai-yong will suddenly really start to believe. Well, he doesn't mess about, and that was a better clean and jerk. The whole thing was better for me that time. So 185, Zhiyong right on his national games mark. So I have to say, David, next time is really new territory for Zhiyong at this weight category.
So I think the bar's going to stay on 185, and it's going to be the Frenchman.
So let's just think this through. DABAYA gets 185. Okay, fine. He's securing his bronze medal position. Then Lee Bai-yong, of course, we know he's good for 190.
I think the bar's going to go up.
See,
I think DABAYA's going to take more because he's
secure.
Well, actually, he's lighter than Lee.
Yeah,
so this would actually put him ahead of Lee on the clean and jerk at the moment.
At the moment.
So I guess it's worth taking. And he's going, 186. So he's putting the pressure right back on. He wants to go into the... He could win the gold medal with this on the clean and jerk. Why not?
Well, he could, but I still think it's odds against rather than odds for, because remember, you know, there's 3 lifts left. So, after he's taken his. I think if Lee Bai-yong closes the gap up again to Zhiyong, what's really going to be interesting is Lee Bai-yong's final clean and jerk attempt. The last lift of the competition, because it looks as if it's going to go to the Korean.
Oh, looks so strong, doesn't he?
Yeah.
This would be fantastic to finish off with. Oh! It's just positioning, Davey. He took it to arm's length. He left his hips behind. Improving and dangerous. Definitely somebody to watch out for in the future.
But a world bronze medalist, a possible future European champion, Vencelas DABAYA. Disappointed with those last 2 failures, but he's impressed us, I think, today. He's a serious challenger. Yeah, and there it is.
The hips behind, that's all. And you can see it clearly from the side view. And the coach's face says it all. So close.
The competition has changed 2 times in the last minute. 190 kilograms of the bar.
So you can see the disappointment to know that he came here in such good condition, and to lose out in that way is very, very frustrating. Now, this is interesting. This is really interesting.
It doesn't put him into the overall lead, but it will put him into the lead on the clean and jerk.
Yeah, but I think let's concentrate on the overall thing now. Again, situation here is that he was 8 kilos behind in body weight. This would reduce that gap again to 3 kilos. And then I think he's got to force Zhiyong to go for whatever if Zhiyong goes to 190.
He would have to take 199.
A new world record. On the other hand, if Zhiyong didn't make 190, very interesting.
It's very strong on the clean.
Oh,
But not so strong on the jerk.
No lift.
So I wonder what he's going to do. I wonder if he's going to sit this one out.
well, he's surely got to hope that Zhiyong goes for 190 to give him the time, and then he's got a choice, hasn't he? He either goes for an amazing world record just to try and snatch it up, sort of thing we've seen from 1 or 2 of the Bulgarians over the years.
It's phenomenal in the first phase. I mean, It looks as if he could clean 200.
Sort of thing that Zlatan Vanev has shown us from time to time. Looks completely out of it, comes in with a monster lift. But of course, spirits are soaring now because you'd have to think, wouldn't you, David, that if he lifts up 190...
If he does 190, that's it.
That's it, yeah. So, the man who would be king. It's a test.
Oh, look at that. Now that shows phenomenal technique to be able to keep your balance and go right into that deep squat and then stand up again. Phenomenal leg power, incredible balance. And what a great end. What a fantastic last attempt. 6 out of 6. And he deserves it. But I'm guessing that the bar is going to go to at least 191, because I think that the Korean's going to at least want to take 1 gold medal.
Consolation prize?
Consolation prize. I can't see him going to 199, but I could see him going to 191 just to try and... and there you go, 191.
Yeah.
I think you've got to give this man best on the overall, but the Korean could do 191. It's not... he'll definitely clean it. He's just got to give that little bit extra effort on the jerk, get his positioning right, and he could end up with a consolation of a gold medal on the clean and jerk.
Well, what a phenomenal championships it is for the Chinese weightlifters, both men and women, because it means that out of the 6 categories so far, 5, all 3 women's, and now 2 men's will have been won by Chinese lifters. The other category going to Wang of Taipei. So Asia absolutely rampant and dominant. So this for the clean and jerk gold. He is secure in silver medal position overall.
Well, that surprises me. That surprised me. I thought he would do the first phase very, very comfortably, but it just shows you.
I think it's when somebody produces a crushing lift like the one that Zhiyong, mentally it goes out of you, and DABAYA, well, he must now settle for the silver medal. And what a champion, an Olympic champion at 62 kilos who has really made the move up to 69, and he looks so good, arguably even better. Love to see that winning clean and jerk again. As you said, David, when you see a man with the ability to squat that deep and drive up again.
Not just the strength, it's the balance. If you're just a couple of millimeters out, you can't hold it. I mean, it's he's got it all, really. Strength, technique.
Well, he's 25 years of age and he's the world champion. And can anybody stop the Chinese? Having said that, it's China, Korea, and a worthy bronze medalist in DABAYA for France. And good to see DABAYA there flying the flag for Europe ahead of Kazarian. This is the clean and jerk situation, as you can see. Quite a lot of red, quite a lot of failure. A lot of men pushing themselves. I guess the big disappointment for me for the evening was Demireva of Bulgaria, the European champion. Just a shadow. But no